My name is Jessica Daniels. I'm from Helping Hands Hawaii, and I work in the Bilingual Access Line. When I first came on board, I'm like, God, why would people need an interpreter? And I was quickly awakened with all the things that are happening. I couldn't believe that there were patients going home with prescriptions in their hand and bringing it home, not realizing that they needed to get it filled and taken so that their health can become better. Not realizing that there are parents out there who lost their children and they didn't know that they didn't follow the rules that the decree had on them, that they needed to go to classes. We had one couple actually not too long ago where they use a court interpreter, and that is more for court, and they actually used it in education. So that interpreter interpreted the word as mentally ill, but the student her child wasn't mentally ill. She was just autistic. So just having that alone changed the reports of the school and changed what kind of services this child needed. And the parent, upon hearing the news, was totally devastated. Majority of the nonprofit organizations, they don't have the budget or the financial means to provide interpreter services or even have interpreters on hand or be part of their organization. So having a contracted service or a agency to help them communicate and help ease the communication barrier is always needed. Bilingual Access Line provides interpreter services 24/7, and they can do it over the phone, they can do it in person, or they can do video remote. So on-demand is one of our newest things that we do provide. So you would dial our number, put in your ID, and select any language you need, and within seconds you're connected to an interpreter. And we have access to qualified professional interpreters all over. So for instance, we work with this shelter on Maui, and they were getting clientele walking into the shelter, and they had no idea how to connect or communicate with them. One of the harder languages was Marshallese, and there's none readily available on Maui. So they use our app any time of the day that they can connect, and they can do the assessment, they can help the client and have them seek the shelter that they needed. So we have Maui, we have Kauai, and then we're now getting 4 new vendors from the Big Island. We love it because you have people who are calling and they don't really understand what their client is saying. So instead of waiting and say, I don't have an interpreter for you, can you try come back in 2 weeks or come back tomorrow? We can quickly connect and have an interpreter for them to help them figure out the communication barrier. I believe there's still people out there not aware of our services, so we want them to call us and schedule or create an account with us so then they can have access to these services.